Hi guys, this is Gokul Prasad. Today we will see how to debug a code. Debugging is an important thing for backend developers because it will save our time whenever we get an error. So when I started developing backend code, I used to get a lot of error, and for solving errors I used to give system.out.println and try to check where the error come. So it was taking a lot of time for me to clear that error. But once I learned debugging, I could easily find where the error is, and I could and it saved my time drastically. So today in this video we will see how to debug a project. So let's go into the code. So this is a simple project. What we are doing is we are just getting the student details and storing it in the database. So this is our database which I have created. So we are given student ID. There are three counts: one is student ID, student name, and student details entry date. So the student name will be given in the postman. So this is a postman detail. So this is a post function, and we are going to give student name here, and which will get stored in the database. So this is a simple project, and I will go through this code. So this is, I have created two methods, API points. One is for get student details and add student details. So we'll see for add student details. For add student details, we are getting the student details in this student detail DTO, and we are converting it and sending it to the service class. So we'll see the implementation here. So in this what we are doing in this implementation is, first we are checking whether the student is already present in the student name is already present in the database or not. If the student name is already present in the database, then a response will be given as student name already exists. So, and it will give an empty response. So this will be the response if the student name is already present in the database. If the student name is not there in the database already, so we are inserting it. First we are getting a date function here and inserting it into the student details entry date, and we are just storing it here. So this is what we are going to do, and if we are getting any exception in this method, we are throwing it here, try catch. We have cast the exception here. So now we will try to run this code and see what happens. Wait, I will run this code. So I'm running this code here. Okay, can you see the code is running perfectly? But once I hit it from here, the API point, the API is not called, and I'm getting some error like this, null 500, but the code is running fine here, everything happening, but there is nothing is shown here, no error is shown here. So what we are going to do means we are going to debug this code. So in add student details only we are getting this error. So what we are going to do means we are going to set breakpoints. So wherever you expect errors may occur, you think that error may occur in this line, so you can set wherever breakpoints you want. So I am setting it here and here, where we are setting the date to string, and we are going to run this in debug mode. So go here, right click on this and give debug as Spring Boot app. So once you give that, you will get like this. Okay, now it's running, and again hit the API point from the postman. So now it will load like this. Go to your Eclipse, and now you could see that your debug has started. So here, can you see we have set breakpoint here, so the cursor is waiting here. So click this step over. You can give F6 also, or Once you click F6, the cursor will move to the next line and you can check what values are coming inside this. So we can check what the student details list has got. So uh, getting the value what's inside student detail list, you can just press Ctrl Shift and I. If you click means you will get what is present inside student details. Now it's optional dot empty only. Why we are getting empty means we are passing the student name as, here you could see Gokul we are passing. So what this function student details report dot find student name is doing means it will check in the database whether the student name Gokul is present there in the database or not. So initially our database, sorry, the table student detail is empty only. So it is returning empty one, optional as empty only. So after passing it, we are checking whether the student details is empty or not. Initially it's empty only, so we are going inside this if condition. So the function, so the cursor is waiting here, and again if you click step over, that is F6, then it will go to the next line. So here we are in this line, and there is no problem here, and when again we are clicking F6, so it should have gone to this line only, so the next line, but it have gone to the exception. We are catching this exception, so we could understand that here in this line some exception is occurring. So we are checking what we are passing inside this date to string. As you could see, there is nothing, date cannot be resolved. So we could understand that some error is occurring in this thing only. So in this line only some error has occurred, so only we are getting this exception thrown there. So what we can do means we can concentrate on this line. So set student detail entry date. So in this date dot toString function only we are getting. So if you go to the database, what we are given is student details entry date, we are given varchar and not null. So but here what we are passing is date object as null only we are passing. So only it's getting some error here. I given null here because to show how the debugging works. So what we actually need to give means we have to give like date here, then only this will take date dot toString, and here the null won't be passed. So what we can do means now we have found where the error occurs and we have solved it. So now we can terminate this debug function and we can again run it. Okay. Again if you debug it, we are hitting it in the postman and we are getting the cursor here. Now we are again clicking step over, again step over, so it's coming inside this function. So date inside this thing, and now we are setting date to string. Now we can check what. So now we can see we are getting some value here. Previously we have set null here, so it has shown exception, and exception has been thrown here. But this time we are giving it properly, and there is no exception thrown here. So we can pass step over, and again if you click it, so we can check it here. So can you see student detail Gokul, and all those entries has been saved in the database. So now there is no problem, and you can stop the debugging by clicking this terminate function. Means it will stop the debugging function, and once the problem has been solved, we can again run it normally. Now we are running the code normally and the code has been started, so we can give some other student name and try to hit the API. So I'm giving as Prasad and I'm hitting the API here. Now I'm getting a 200 status and the response is okay, and also it's been entered here. So this is how you need to debug a code, and you can easily solve the problem wherever you get the problem. Instead of using system.out.println everywhere, you can use debugging. So thank you. I think so this video has helped you in some way.